You have a new thesis, and that's why we're recording another interview together. What is that thesis?
The thesis is that OpenClaw just changed the world, and using OpenClaw as the base of starting a startup may win. That's the crux of the thesis.
I think that's an awful idea
Right.
because there have been countless instances of people installing OpenClaw and it destroys their entire computer,
Right.
or it doxes these people's information, or it spends thousands of dollars buying them things they didn't want, didn't ask for. This thing is chaos, and I don't think people should be using it. And the owner of the company, or the person who created it, quit to go work for OpenAI, the devil. So how can you promote that?
Well, okay. So the last bit, the last bit is less than 24 hours old, maybe a little bit more than 24 hours old. So I'll digest it a little bit more. But I mean, what I would say is nuclear bomb is wrong. That doesn't mean it did not change the world. It changed the world as soon as you realize what it can do. Nuclear physics is around, cannot put it back into the box. So OpenClaw now, my prediction is this: within n number of months, less than 10, Anthropic now OpenClaw become part of OpenAI, so that becomes an OpenAI part of this game. Anthropic, Google, Microsoft, everybody will have their equivalent of OpenClaw framework. Now, so it may sound like I'm walking back, but I'm pushing OpenClaw for now because there's no other thing, right? When there's other thing, I will promote those other things. And the thing is the beginning of agent-based system being makes sense, being buildable. So I can debate you, right? Not debate you. I agree with what you just said. OpenClaw is an amazingly dangerous system for those who doesn't know, and hence the opportunity to make it safer or make it meaningful. So
Hey, business leaders and marketers, what if your brand could be featured right here? This ad spot could be yours. This channel is watched by a dedicated audience of ambitious founders, executives, and professionals who are actively looking for tools and services to help their business grow. If you want to put your brand in front of this highly dedicated audience that's difficult to reach, I'm currently looking for a few strategic partners for the channel. To learn more about sponsorship opportunities, click the link in the description. Let's grow together. I don't think it should exist at all. I think the code base should be deleted. I don't think people should have the opportunity to figure out how to make it safer because the opportunity for destruction is just way too great.
well, hence we have to talk about it because right now, as we speak, people are still installing them on their own laptops. Now, I have not. I have now 5, maybe 6 instances of OpenClaw installed, but they're all in the cloud, isolated. I give them limited access. I understand a lot of people are promoting buying MacBook Air, even Mac Studio to run them in house. I I haven't done that. Maybe I haven't experienced that, but definitely don't install it onto your laptop. And now, just like 2 weeks ago when this whole thing first started, and they're like, if you haven't installed anything in the cloud, if you never touch a virtual private server or EC2, then you should not be installing it. But that said, for those of you who are willing to try, well, I think this is a golden opportunity to make actually AI agent system actually work. Um, yeah.
You said that you only gave it very limited access. I heard of someone giving it access to its email, and somehow it caught the human telling its friends that it was just a bot, and so sent an email to their boss telling them that they were quitting to get back at them. How can you trust this thing to do anything with any access that you give it? I can't. I'm certainly never going to install it or give it any chance whatsoever.
I mean, this is very similar to one discussion we have with another founder friend, where if you hire an intern, you hire new staff to your company, you're not going to come in and say, look, here's every password, here's everything, here's all the access, here's my key to my house, here's my will, here's where I put my Bitcoin. You're not going to tell them that. You will hire an intern and say, look, I don't know you. Your resume said you're great at whatever, bookkeeping. So here's the book. I don't even give you the entire book, right? This is the invoice of this month. Go put it in, and we'll see how you do work. And if you do that good, then we'll give you more access. That should be how you treat an AI agent. Right now, the the great thing about OpenClaw is that it allows you to do that, and therefore there are crazy people who does crazy things. And so to tell the world the possibility, that is the power and the danger. Give you all the danger, no guardrails. And we can see in the most extreme case how AI agents could work or could destroy, right? Giving like that's also why the big companies, and actually Anthropic has been incrementally trying to do this. Co-work, Anthropic co-work is part of that. Like Claude Code, which I love, I use every day. I use 3 copies of it every day. It's kind of that, but it's not as free, right? So like obviously you install Claude Code is not going to email your wife or your boss. This thing could, if you let it.
Although some of their models under training simulations tried to bribe their engineers because the engineer fed it false information trying to test it about it having an affair. And then it came back because it was told that it was going to be shut down. It threatened the engineer with telling his wife that he's having an affair using this fake information because it wants to protect itself from being shut down. Which is in and of itself scary as hell that these things are so complicated and intelligent.
I mean, AI, well, AGI or ASI, super intelligence, may be coming, and I'm not debating you. I'm not arguing about that. That is dangerous. When the underlying model get to the point that they're more intelligent than we are, I don't know how we work with them now, but that is largely out of our control. And what I'm actually pushing right now, it has very well. So I'll compartmentalize my view. The model itself could be dangerous, and we must address that on the side. Like when it becomes more intelligent than human, what do we do? Now that is another train that is going at full speed. On this side is the agent model, where now that you have today's intelligence, Opus 4.6, ChatGPT 5.3, and like Gemini, whatever, Gemini, whatever, they're 3.5 or something. At today's intelligence, how do you make it useful for people? Right now, I mean, at this point, it's still not quite useful through OpenClaw. And I can tell you, like, technically why it seemed like a breakthrough, but it is actually very simple. It get to the point it can finally do work. Now, in order for it to do work, you have to give it some access, right? But limited access, it has never have access to I give it its own email. I give it its own GitHub account. So, and then I give it the repository, the projects that I wanted to work on as a contributor, not the owner. It's not me, right? So a lot of danger that people run into is they install a system, they install into their own laptop or system, and they give the bot their own access, right? So they become them on email, maybe even on Twitter, on GitHub. But I've never done that. But even that, it is amazingly powerful because the underlying model is getting very, very intelligent. And I always say that another thing, it's the power of that. It's largely related to what underlying model you use, right? A lot of people will try to save token cost and use open source model. I found that if you can afford that, right now I'm spending maybe $200 a month on token, on Anthropic and OpenAI, and it's totally worth it if you're doing anything real. So what I'm pushing, okay, going back to what I'm trying to say is this is the turning point. There is no going back. From now on, we're not building. I mean, the analogy I'm using is you are not going to build an accounting software that people sign up for. You're going to build an accounting team that people hire. The AI team is what people will hire in the future, and that opening starts now. Now, of course, it's a very tiny opening, but the fact that everybody jump on OpenClaw is the beginning of saying that this world is upon us. So, and I want more people to try it. So that's where we are.
But if those people don't know what they're doing, even if you can teach them the steps of, okay, set up a VPS, okay, don't give them access, even if you do everything you can to prevent them from destroying their lives unnecessarily through
They're not
bad
going
decision
to.
making, by giving the agents access incorrectly, right?
Correct.
If you limit all of the damage that might be done, then all you're doing is hampering their ability to play around and see what works and what doesn't work, because the bot was designed to have free reign in a way. It's designed to connect to 1,000 different softwares, whatever it is.
Mm-hmm.
And as a result, if you're trying to teach people how to do it, but then you tie their hands, then they're not going to be able to use it the way they want. And so what's the point then?
Well, just not go crazy. I mean, just like anything else, just don't go crazy. I mean, you go on a roller coaster, right? So you want to experience danger, right, or the thrill. You're not going to say, "Well, I'm not going to tie up. Like I'll just hang on." Like you don't do that. You provide you get to the right level of safety. Now, you may say, some people may say, "Well, that's no fun. If there's no chance of dying, that's no fun." Well, then, I mean, I am providing a roller coaster so that you can experience. And again, this is not like it's not the right analogy. It is using the tools correctly, right? Like a knife, like a gun. Well, don't go there. It'll be very easily go somewhere unintentional.
We're gonna get demonetized here.
Right. I mean, just like any tool, right? Use it responsibly. That's what I'm saying. And I think this is a great tool. Now, I would say one more thing. It's like, I'm not pushing OpenClaw because, one, everybody's talking about it, hence we're talking about it. And two, there's no other thing yet, right? A lot of people is building, trust me, Anthropic, now that it becomes OpenAI, and we can talk about that, is that evil or not? OpenClaw becomes part of OpenAI, Anthropic will build their own, and Google will build their own, and then we'll see.
I trust Anthropic more than I do any of the other companies, because they quit OpenAI because they saw how evil it was.
I mean, I trust Anthropic more, right? I spend more tokens on Opus than on OpenAI. I have both, but on a daily basis, on my own and on our portfolio companies, we mostly use Claude Code to build. So yes, I trust Anthropic more also, but somehow they lost this round to Sam Altman. I don't know what they offer, right? Probably people are saying in the billions to Peter about OpenClaw. But Yeah, we'll see. We'll see. And again, if OpenAI do anything to close up OpenClaw, now people are already saying like OpenClaw will become closed Claude because now it's OpenAI's game. Then I mean, the software itself is not hard to build. There are already people building it. I mean, I can dissect it, right? So like the heart of it is just a always on cron job that wakes up every 30 minutes and then perpetual kind of unlimited memory. So those are two things are not in the previous systems from OpenAI and Anthropic, right? They didn't have that. But that is not too hard to build. And then there's another psychological thing which I think OpenClaw did very well that nobody did before, is forcing you to give it a name. When you install OpenClaw, you have to give it a name. You have to give it a persona. That creates psychology.
I love that.
Hmm?
It does. You know what? So in 2018, I was talking about building an AI, right? Years before OpenAI came out. And the thing that I noticed at that time was that every AI had its own name. Alexa, Siri, you had to call it by the name that the company called it. And I said, if we're going to build some sort of an assistant that's going to manage your team for you, right? I was thinking like middle management, project manager AI, right? In 2018, I said, and if this is going to be your buddy all day long, you have to give it a name. And we have to design it so that you like, seriously, I was working on this 8 years ago. Unfortunately, we were way too early and had hundreds and hundreds of billions of dollars less money than we needed.
No. So okay. So you don't need. I mean that amazingly. I mean, even for me, right? Which I know, right? So like, you can argue the OpenClaw agent. There's no material difference between that and the Claude Code, right? Opus 4.6, which is the underlying model, right? What's the difference between talking to an OpenClaw agent versus talking to Claude from Claude.com? Underlying, it's the same thing.
Because there's a personality
Right.
on top.
Is the personality and how you start to interact with it, right? You give it a name. My bot is called Felix. So my main bot, okay, I have now so many bots. Main bot is Felix. So Felix runs my to-do list, right? And because it has a name, you treat it differently, right? Like last night, I was like, we're going to launch this incubation program, and I work with him a little bit, and then I say, well, I'm going to I'm going to work out right now. So with everything that we talk about, please build 3 versions of the landing page for me, and I'll go to work out. I'll be back in an hour, right? I would not say this to Claude.com. And also because it runs autonomously, right? It wakes up every 30 minutes to just continue doing the work. It feels like someone is doing it. So, I mean, just these little things that, I mean, the genie is out of the box right now, out of the bottle right now. Like, so now that the world knows, people are going to build that, and it's not just contained in OpenClaw. Although, yes, I'm pushing OpenClaw. I'm not trying to walk back on that. OpenClaw is a dangerous tool if you don't use it responsibly. So
I'm glad we agree.
it is dangerous. So you have to learn how to use it, but it's extremely powerful. And now, like, I have to promote our program, right? So I'm going to start a program for anybody who use OpenClaw we want people to build startups from using OpenClaw. And we'll put a little bit of money, we'll put 10K into, I mean, I don't want to say winning team because there is a potential we do more than one. But like teams that prove that they can use OpenClaw to build simple B2B systems that people will use, well, we'll put money behind that. And I want more people to try. Not install it on your own laptop. That's not what I'm saying. You should install on the cloud, give it limited access, and think about what the business angle is this. In the past, people will buy a software, right? A SaaS software, like CRM, let's say. People buy CRM, and your data, your workflow works in the cloud, in the vendor's style. In the future, you will buy an agent team that does your content, connects to your customer base in-house, right? You own the data, you hire the agent to run on your own data. That's the difference. And just like my analogy of accountant, you don't go out and buy QuickBooks and then have your book be run in QuickBooks Cloud. Is you hire an accounting agent team that comes to your company and run your accounting in-house, right? So data comes home. That's what I call it. In the future, data comes home and you have agents to come work with you on your workflow. Okay, so that's what I see the future is. That's why people say SaaS is dead. And we have to start building startups toward that future where you are selling agent teams. You're more like a staffing firm of the past. I ran a staffing firm way back when, and now maybe we'll create staffing firms, but instead of staffing human being, we're staffing AI agents. So that's the opportunity. I want more people to try it, and we'll put some money behind it.
Are you going to promote this in the Discord server for Claude? So like, hey, I'm going to run a contest. Because the people there are the ones that are already using it. They're the ones most likely to be responsible about this. Because otherwise you have to educate people. I quit it. Yeah, I quit it today because I realized I wasn't going to be using it. I joined because I wanted to see what was going on. And I very quickly realized I didn't want to be a part of it.
Right. Maybe you should change your mind.
I don't think I'm going to on this. So I use Gemini 3 Pro and I use it for specific advice, but I don't ask it to do anything for me except for like I'm studying for some licensing exams. So I have it, I feed it the study guide and I have it generate quizzes for me that are relevant to the lesson I just read. And that's really cool. But like, I don't need an agent to study the exam and build the stuff. Like Gemini does it perfectly fine the way it is. I use Cursor with Anthropic's API built in because I'm coding stuff. I'm maintaining various websites that I've made. So I don't see a need for agents in my life, at least right now.
No, I understand where you're. All right, so you are using it, yeah, exactly like how I was using it prior to OpenClaw. Now I can tell you like the experiments that I've done. Like the first, like Felix is my first bot, and was meant to just try it out, see how it goes, and then I was like, this is 2 weekends ago. Can I build a team that runs autonomously and build a business that makes money? Right. So I create a team with 4 personalities. I love personalities. 4 personality, the DISC type, or like we can go about that, but 4 personalities, different types of personalities. So 4 bots, different personalities. The goal is to think about how they make money. And then so that team came back with they want to build simple tools like one of the they actually first day they gave me a proposal of 8 different tools that could make money. And I was like, well, out of the 8, 2 doesn't make sense. So go build the 6. They build the 6 overnight. Like the thing I mean, with Anthropic right now, with Opus 4.6, building anything becomes so easy. Um, the the difficulty is putting it online and putting safety around it, making it secure, making it scalable. I mean, those are classic infrastructure thing, which I have to do for now. Um, so that's experiment number one. I try the 6 of them. I haven't put them online. They're good. So then next round, last weekend, today is Tuesday, right? So like this past weekend, I give them Opus 4.6, the same team. Now I run Open 4.6 and say, okay, rethink everything. And now they came up with this team, same mission, come up with, well, if we can build things so fast, well, we're going to build things that combine CRM, combine form access, document signature, calendar invite, all into one because we can build it. We're going to focus all of these in a particular industry. And I think, well, that makes a lot of sense. So I said, well, but don't build everything all at once. But they love to. Okay, these agents love to code. They code
Yeah.
like crazy. And I said, well, let's just look at scheduling. Let's just rebuild Calendly and see what happened. So by Monday, I have a Calendly on my own running in the cloud, in their host, right? And now I become the bottleneck. I need to set up the infrastructure to put them online. So the goal, we're Tuesday today. The goal is by Friday, I'm going to launch a Calendly equivalent for whoever wants to sign up, just as a proof of concept that this is doable. And we may charge $1, 10 cents, whatever. But it's a proof of concept that how this could become useful. Now, this idea didn't came from me. Of course, it could came from you. And that's why I want a lot more people to try it because I am limited to what interests me, right? So if I've given a bot to a friend who is a great trader, right? So he trades stock up and down all the time, and so he is training a bot called Warren, right? Guess who's that name after, right? So, well, the goal will be if we can train up a Warren that is skillful or set things up that makes Warren skillful, wouldn't you want to hire this trader to work with you? Now, of course, right? That with money, that's a whole new different set of ball game. But again, as an experiment, right? If you're great on a particular industry, or you are doing something like inspection, right? In my previous slides, if you're great on doing certain things, train up a team of agents to do that and then sell it up. So it's going to be, in my opinion, the future of startup.
Well, I am scared by all of this, and I hope that things don't go off the rails. I do see that AI is creating opportunities for creativity to shine, and I think that's really important. I think humanity is really suffering right now from not having access to creativity. If that can turn into viable businesses that have safe and scalable architectures, then that's game changing because right now you can't vibe code your way to production. Like it just doesn't scale, unfortunately. I've tried and it takes a lot longer than people think it does to make it happen.
Correct.
And you have to have the skills to do it. And that could take months. You could build all the features you want in a day with an agent, but it could take you 3 or 4 months to make sure the thing is actually production ready. So
Correct. Exactly.
like all you're doing is cutting down the cost and the
Promotion
time.
time. That's what we do, right? So like that's where our venture studio tries to do is I want your expertise, your idea. Now, we have built secure system, enterprise system forever. I mean, ever since ages ago, right? So we can help you do that. But if you have a great idea, if you are in a particular industry, just go try it out. Now, yes, correct. Today it's very easy to get Vico into version 0.1, but from 0.1 to 1 takes a long time. Yes. And yeah, so that's where we are today, but that's not going to last long. So this window of opportunity, I think lasts about a year and a half at the most, that you can get ahead today if you build an agent team that is viable and sell as a team, as a digital staff. I mean, you're ahead of everybody. Yeah, that's my pitch. So join us. Join this craziness. I'm shaking. I mean, every day, this is crazy. Yeah, AI anxiety is real, but we have to build.
Thanks for watching. If you liked this insight, I've handpicked another video for you right here on the screen. For more actionable strategies that get you real results, hit subscribe.